Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Hey, this is Hal Coleman, and welcome to another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. I'm better known as Mr. Offline, and I'm here with my business partner, my associate, and my friend and my mentor, better known as Mr. Online, Mike Stewart. I hope you're here, Mike. I can't see you, but you're here, aren't you?
I'm here. You don't need to see me. I can turn it on. You know, in fact, it'd be good if you'd turn your camera off.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'll do that so that it won't even be a distraction. How's that?
That's great. Well, you know what? You're going to kick this off, but I'm going to say something right now. This is being recorded April the 3rd, 2020. And we're right in the middle of the most trying times that I can ever remember in my life. And it may be some of the most trying times that this country's seen since World War II or 9/11. But you've got to change your mindset about a lot of things, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So why don't you go ahead? I'm fine. The tools that I take for granted online, the world is now having to learn how to embrace in the last 3 weeks, and I've had 20 years to learn them. So you can't learn 20 years of strategies in 2 weeks, but now people are doing it. And we need to talk about the positive things that you need to do rather than focusing on the negative. So go ahead. We're going to be talking. This is a coronavirus, April 2020. If you hear this thing and the light at the end of the tunnel has come, and this is an out-of-date podcast in your mind, no, it's not. This is something that you need to pay attention to for the rest of your life, no matter what happens. And the part of the panic and part of the fear is people have procrastinated on a lot of things that they shouldn't have. And because we have learned to use these tools, you know, I'm busy. I'm very busy. And I want that for you too. So Hal, that's all I have to say. I'm here. I'm here to support you in your comments. But this is we're heading down the tunnel. We're looking for the light at the end of it. And what can you do that's positive and not gloom and doom?
Well, you know, Mike, we're our governor here in Georgia just announced, I think it starts maybe Monday the 6th. I'm not sure what day tomorrow. I may have started today because I'm so confused by a lot of it. But we're here on a mandated shutdown. In other words, you're breaking the law if you're out in the town for any reason other than essential services, first responders. And fortunately, pest control, we've been designated as an essential service. I spent this morning talking to, just on the phone, calling current clients, past clients, friends who've never been my client, all of them in the pest control industry, just to see how they're doing on this day, Friday, April 3rd. And all of them, they're doing great. They're covered up in work, and they've had a few people who don't want them to come out and don't even want anybody on their property for any reason, you know. But others are gearing up to do sanitation services and offer those as an add-in. And the first thing that usually happens, and you mentioned a while ago, it times like you haven't ever seen in your lifetime that you can remember. Well, you don't remember it because it's never happened. Nothing like this has ever happened here. Never been a government shutdown. So this is the first time, our leaders, it's the first time for them. It's the first time for the president. It's the first time for the governors. They've never faced anything like this, and they, just like us, are stressed out. They're confused. They're anxious. They're worried. They're desperate to help the people of all over the world. The leaders are desperate to help their people. So my responsibility is I'm desperate to help my clients. That's what I'm to get dedicated to. And so with that said, I want to give you some help and some not only encouragement, but things are changing. And a lot of the stuff that's changed is not going to come back the way it was. And some of that's good. I mean, people now are, Mike, you invited me to a network meeting. You go to network meetings every week like I always did when I had my pest control business. I was a member of several, I don't know how many networking groups through the years. I was meeting somewhere every other morning for breakfast or lunch with a group of people. But now, since we can't get out, and people have started doing those as Zoom meetings, and it's working great because now you can network with people all over the place, and all you got to be doing is sitting at your computer, and it's just like being in a room with them, except you don't spread the germs. And a lot of that's going to stay that way, I think, after we come out of the tunnel, of the coronavirus tunnel, and we get back on our feet. People are going to realize, hey, this is neat. I can network with these people. I can be with them. I can visit with them. I can have coffee with them and laugh and tell jokes and everything, and I can do it while I'm sitting at home, with a sport coat and a tie and my boxer shorts and barefooted, because I'm sitting, the only thing they can see me is from the chest up. So we need to understand that things are changing like this. So being able to meet virtually with the customer. In the past, somebody sees a bug, they say, I got these bugs out here at my house, and I need somebody to come out here. Well, when can I come out there? Okay. But now just think about how you could do that virtually. Just say, we'll walk over to where the bugs are. Let's FaceTime each other, and you put your camera down there and show me the bugs. Okay, or show me the place in the garage wall. Yeah, I see it. Do this. Take your finger and scratch on it a little bit. Yep, scratched on it. Yeah, I see that. Ma'am, I hate to tell you, but that's subterranean termites. Looks like it from here, or it's not. Maybe you can comfort them. Nope, you don't have to worry about that. That's just bird poop on your windshield. It's nothing to worry about. So being able to communicate virtually, and offering different services like sanitation services, shifting to outside services only. A lot of people in this industry still do regular inside service every time they go to somebody's home, whether it's bi-monthly or quarterly, whatever. They're going in there, and y'all know who you are, but it's just not always necessary to always do an inside service. And there are a lot of companies that do a great job, and they do exterior service. They rarely go inside. They offer it as a guarantee. If you need us to come inside, we will, but we don't have to. We hope we never have to disturb your indoor living space, and people appreciate that. So learning to be more effective with outside-only services, and people who are have always had to drive their vehicles into the office and then pick up their company truck and go drive it. Now, a lot of companies have shifted here just in the last couple of weeks. Now they're just having their technicians work from their homes and go and come by the office one at a time and drop off paperwork. And they've cut down on the trips that's made things more efficient. So look at ways that you can streamline, that you can cut costs. When we come out of this, the people that don't change and that simply sit around and wait and hope and sweat and fret and pray that things are going to get back to normal, those people that have that attitude, a lot of them are not going to be around when this is over with. But the people that keep their nose to the wind and their eyes on the skyline, and they're looking at what's coming over the hill, and they're getting ready for it, and they're learning how to use the internet. They're going to be doing videos and podcasting and all this stuff that they can do from their computers that doesn't cost them anything other than the time to sit down and do it. It costs you nothing to create a great response generating video with your iPhone and upload it to your YouTube channel. So there are a lot of ways to shift what you're doing more to the internet and less from face to face, at least temporarily. But I just want you to know that ultimately, when we come out of this and the corona thing is behind us, and we're hitting on all four cylinders, the companies that do this are going to be running, man, lean and mean and profitable, and they're going to be like that 2-pound steak that had half a pound of fat on it, and it's all going to be trimmed off, and this is just going to be lean. So when we come out of this, we're going to end up better off if we change and adapt to it. But the ones that wait and sit out in the rain, and don't figure out how to build a shelter, they're going to drown. So, and I hope most of the listeners to this are the ones who are going to adapt and suggest. So, Mike, and you have a lot to share too. I know we have a lot on our minds, and
yeah. Well, one of the things that I have been observing, at least, now that we're probably, I guess this is about the third or almost the fourth week, and it seems like it progressively is getting more concerned with everyone. I think one of the first things people ask me is, well, how did your life change? Well, I have a business that didn't require getting in groups of people. I didn't have to drive to I've been a virtual business for years. And that virtual expertise is something that nobody has ever made it a priority to get comfortable doing. Using virtual tools, using electronic tools, using the tools that didn't exist 20 years ago. And so the advice that I'd say now is, okay, you're being forced because the way you did business is changing. Some of it's been taken away from you. For our listeners, pest control is an essential service. Thank God this wasn't the restaurant marketing podcast, Hal.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we would just go, well, we'll see you when this is over. But we're the Pest Control Marketing Podcast, and I guarantee you, people are going to want to know. They want top of mind marketing. So one of the things that I advocate, and I'll give a laundry list of things that you want to talk about a mandate. I'm going to give you Mike's mandate. It's not going to be a choice anymore. All right. I'm going to be mean here, because in tough times we got to get mean. We got to get tough. Now is not the time to stop your marketing efforts. Don't do it. I've already had one customer that their wise decision was to pull back on their advertising. I've got proof and I've got documentation that is you said it the other day, Hal. The football team is losing, so let's cut practice in half and sell off our exercise equipment.
Yeah, that ought to help us win more games next year.
Well, that's the exercise equipment of your business is top of mind marketing. Now, you can spend as much or as little of what you want, but you better spend money and you better spend time doing what you need to do. And if you don't know what to need to do, this is the time to learn how to do what you need to do. If your excuse is, I don't need to do it, you're wrong. If your excuse is, I don't know what to do, there is plenty of information out there for free, or you make a budget to hire a trusted coach to help you know what to do. It'll be the best investment you could ever do. So now is not the time to pull back your marketing. And you know what marketing is best right now in this pandemic? Online marketing. Hal would tell you to go to the Chamber of Commerce in the offline world. He would tell you to join a networking group like NTI or BNI or PowerCore. I've been in all of those groups because I'd ask people, let's do a virtual meeting. No, meet me at Panera Bread for coffee. You know, I've been listening to that for years. Well, I can easily just meet you from your computer. No. I got to be face to face to you. You know, or I don't want to do business with you. Well, you need to change your attitude right now because the face-to-face has been taken away from all of us in the real world, but not in the offline world, not in the online world. So you need to become comfortable with the tools that you've had all along because now you can reinvent yourself and be a leader, not somebody who crawls up in a fetal position and says, well, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to wait for this to be over and do nothing. No, this is the time to attend. In fact, it's interesting how one of my favorite things to do is speak at networking meetings. I love to present. I would present every week if they'd let me. But most people don't want to hear from me every week. But I got enough stuff to talk about. I could talk every week. I know you could too. Yeah. But when you're in a networking group, you have to wait about every 3 months. Some of them say you can only do it twice a year because you got to give everybody else a turn. Well, I started going to my online meetings, which are essentially the same thing. We used to meet at Del Frisco's Grill here in Nashville with my Networking Today International Networking Group. And in fact, I'm going to put a link, but if you Google Networking Today International, you'll find them. Started by a good friend of mine, Rich DeForest. It's basically a national networking group like many others, like chamber meetings, whatnot. And he was smart enough to build a virtual networking meeting room. Absolutely very cheap. And now you can meetings all over the country. And I've watched this thing grow from 20 meetings to 50 meetings this week. And as a member, you can speak at every one of these meetings. And they are dying for speakers. And I'll tell you something else. I've been to 20 networking meetings in the last 10 days online. Never left the house. I went to one this morning. And I raise my hand and I say, I would love to speak for your meeting. You know why people won't speak, Hal? They're scared to do it. They've never made a power... Go ahead.
They're afraid of the camera. It's camera fright, stage fright, you know.
Well, it's PowerPoint fright. It's talking fright. It's speaking fright. You know, we used to say years ago, you can look this up. The two biggest fears in the world are death and speaking. And speaking is a bigger fear.
You know what the third one is?
What's that?
Dying while you're speaking.
There you go. So get over your fear of speaking now. Go to online virtual meetings. BNI just started. BNI is one of the big ones. I have been to 10 meetings in the last 10 days. Not one pest control agency in any meeting. Not one. That's wrong. Stop it. Start letting people know. That costs you $30 a month to be a member, and you can visit for free 3 times. I am doing virtual one-on-one coffees with people. I make myself a cup of coffee. I use Zoom for free. And so let me give you the laundry list of things that every decision maker owner needs to start being a master of to the best of their ability. Number one.
If I could add one thing there, because I know I'll forget it, and you're going to love this. I have somebody I'm meeting with today at 5:00. I said, what are you doing today at 5:00? She said, nothing. I said, meet me at the Skype bar at 5:00 and we'll have a martini.
There you go.
We call it the Skype bar. So we're going to meet at the Skype bar at 5:00. We'll each have a martini. We'll be kicked back and we're going to have fun and we're going to talk about stuff.
Absolutely. So virtual one-on-ones with lead generators and referral partners. You know, you should meet virtually with every business that could refer business to you that you can in your area. So I did a one-on-one yesterday, and it could have been a local one-on-one with a referral partner. real estate agent, mortgage banker. You talk about the best referral partners for pest control, but that's not. But as of yesterday, Lisa Hammett became my customer, spent money with me, met her virtually, never seen her in person, and she said it was the best virtual one-on-one I've ever had. I learned so much. Mike has a great story, very engaging. You need to meet him. Reach out to him today. That's unsolicited. That's the power of taking the time. So let me make a laundry list of things that if you struggle with them, this is the time to get over that struggle. If you struggle with PowerPoint, learn PowerPoint. Go to YouTube and look at PowerPoint tutorials. You've got Office, you got PowerPoint. If you never opened up PowerPoint, open it up and learn to make a presentation to prove you're the best. 2, get a free Zoom account. Get a free Skype account. Learn to do virtual one-on-one networking. Let people know you're willing to present to groups virtually.
Yeah, real estate groups, for instance, you could say, I want to do a thing on the 5 things you need to think about before you hire a pest control company or a termite company, or what to look for on your wood-destroying organism report. There are all kind of things that you can do. You can offer to do a virtual presentation for a nature center. See, and you think, well, why would they be interested? Well, see, they don't have anybody coming there. They're not going to have anybody coming there either, but they still want to be able to bring good nature to their members. So people are going to be looking for people to bring stuff virtually to their customers or their members. So they're going to be looking for you just like you're looking for them. And and I have so many things I think, and thinking of the shifting market. In other words, if you're spending a lot of money on bed bugs services, and that's a lot of what you do, well, all the rental properties are shut down. The hotels and resorts are shut down. And so a lot of that market is going to be pushed back for a while. But home pest control, residential pest control, is going to be at the forefront. So those homes stay open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't close down. So shift some of your marketing budget somewhere else. If you've been hanging door hangers and stuff like that, you might want to stop that, because nobody's going to want anybody showing up on their door. And if I found something hanging on my door right now, I'd reach over there and get it with a pair of pliers and go drop it in the trash can, So think about how the market's shifting there in your particular geographic area. Because as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, if you've never read it, the Law of Compensation, it's a great read. For everything that goes down, something comes up. For everything that moves forward, something moves backwards. If you jump in the water has to move out of the way, but then the water comes back. So for everything that disappears from our current pest control situation, something else is going to reappear. Everything that stops, something else is going to start. Everything that drops off, something else is going to jump on. So that's what we're saying, is just be ready, be willing and able to teach yourself new things, learn new things, embrace new things. I always tell my clients, the success in business and in marketing is learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That is the key. That is the key ingredient. The secret sauce is learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Well, and so we're more uncomfortable than we've ever been right now. I know I am, but I'm learning to be comfortable because I'm seeing how to adapt. And I'm not sitting here wringing my hands. I have a plan. I know how I'm going to get my groceries. I've got enough toilet paper to last me for a while, but I'm looking for new opportunities. I'm looking for new adventures, because it's creating a lot of those.
Well, Hal, I'll tell you the thing to surmise this is, number one, if things that have been changed due to these circumstances, then you do different things. And, I tried to do virtual meetings years ago, and nobody would. The reaction was, "I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I would rather meet you in person. No, I'd rather come over there." I mean, in other words, we were creatures of habit. Now people are being forced to do things differently, and they're uncomfortable with it. So because of that, I used to get maybe one networking speaking engagement to 2 a month because I had to drive to them. And because I'm comfortable presenting, because I'm comfortable with the tools that exist, I've got 10 speaking engagements in the next 2 weeks. Now, what I want you to think about that is I'm building relationships, and a percentage of everybody's not out of money. Everybody is wanting to learn how to survive, and these relationships could last a lifetime if you help people. One of the other things that baffles me, every pest control agency should have a blog and a podcast. They don't, because it's never been a priority. It's not important. I don't see the benefit. If you're listening to this podcast, it's about building relationships of trust. People don't buy from people they don't know, like, and trust. Repurposing content. There's actually a new website called repurpose.io, which is about make a podcast and syndicate content on all of the social media worlds to dominate. When you do things that other people fear, you conquer. So I've given you a lot of resources, but if I was to label them down to number 3, number 1, master PowerPoint. Number 2, build a killer presentation to tell people why you're the authority. Number 3, set up one-on-one local virtual coffees from your computer or your phone. Master your cell phone. It's a video tool. It's a photograph tool. It's a marketing tool. It's a relationship tool. Zoom works on a phone. Skype works on a phone. Do you have the Skype app? Do you have the Zoom app? Do you know how to hook those apps up on your phone? Are you Android? Are you iPhone? I mean, the questions here, quit playing games on your phone and nothing else that it's done. That's a powerful computer that you better master. Master your cell phone, and don't pull back your advertising. And probably we could do a whole nother show on tips and tricks to do with this. I know we've been going a long time here, Hal, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to put this out. I will do a free 1-hour virtual coffee with you. You don't have to do anything except call me. 770-826-3662, or email me, Mike at Internet Audio Guy, and I will take an hour of my time if you'll sit in front of your phone or your computer, and we'll evaluate what's going on with your business, and we'll point out the best way to find out what you're doing and what you're not doing and what you need help on is to have somebody who's comfortable taking you down that path, and that's what I'm comfortable doing in this day and age, and I'm busy doing that for people because I'm reaching out to give back to the community to get people past these fears. And Hal, tell people what you're willing to do.
I'll do the exact same thing. I offer a 1-hour call, but we'll do it face to face. We'll have a coffee meeting, or we'll meet at 5 and make it a martini meeting. But I'll send you a little. We'll have a little chat, and I'll send you a questionnaire I'd like for you to fill out, telling me a lot of stuff that I need to know about your business. Because my sole purpose in that hour is to find you some low-hanging fruit, is to be able to say, look, here's one area of your business. If you would do this, it would increase your sales by a lot. Or, I'm just looking for ways to show you some quick fixes to increase your sales and your phone calls. And so that's why I have these questions that tell me the information I need to know so that we don't have to spend our whole hour together with me just asking you all these questions. I'll already know. So I'm going to do my homework before our meeting so that I can give you the maximum bang during that hour, and it will cost you exactly $0. So I hope you'll do it. You can reach me at 770-993-0004, or you can email me at hal@halcoleman.com, and we'll set it up. And I guarantee you it'll be fun, if nothing else. We're going to have fun together, but you'll come away from the call saying, wow, that was worth my while. So that's what Mike and I offer, is a free hour, and we might as well do it face-to-face, virtually, and get started and get you comfortable with it. So with that said, Mike, I appreciate you being here and always your great input. And I look forward to the next podcast, and I look forward to good news. Maybe the next podcast we'll have some better news about the economy and the state of the world right now. And can't wait for coronavirus to be pretty much a thing of the past. We're going to beat that dog. It just may take us a little while. But anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast in iTunes and on your phones and in Stitcher on your Android. But more importantly, go to our website, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. Subscribe to our email list to always be notified of new episodes. You're never going to want to miss what we got coming up next, and you never know what we're going to be able to do to help you with your pest control marketing.